things are. There was a briefing for the Prince George's County Council of the Whole yesterday. So Akile is going to just share a couple notes on that.
Yeah, thank you, General Manager. Good morning, Commissioners. And in the interest of time, I'll just go straight to the latest status on the repair. This Sunday, March the 14th, DC Water announced that emergency repairs on that section of the PI that collapsed earlier in January, on January 19th. That work has been completed, and flows have been restored to the PI. That means the bypass that involved use of the CNO canal has ceased, and the flows have been redirected to flow through the repair section of the PI and downstream further to Blue Plains. So that is the latest status on the repair. With emergency repairs complete, DC Water is also accelerating a previously planned rehabilitation of about 2,700 linear feet of the PI. Close by, it's not too far from where this collapse occurred. This work is estimated to cost about $30 million and is expected to be completed between spring and fall of 2026 this year. DC Water has also shared their plan for projects, 3 other projects that would be implemented beginning 2027 along the sections of the PI that support Broad Run, Rock Run, and then also the Cabin John basins that would cost about $355 million and would replace around 26,000 linear feet of those sections that I just mentioned. Back to the repair, the sections of the pipe, some sections of the pipe will still remain open, and creating a controlled flow channel with trench boxes. And these openings would be used by crews to insert new pipe sections using a process called slip lining, which would strengthen and reinforce the sections of the Interceptor. With regards to cleaning and rehabilitation, work has also begun in 4 different areas, including the drainage channel along the Clara Barton Parkway and also on the Potomac River from the shore to Swanson Island, and also the initial phase of rehabilitation of the CNO Canal has also begun. And crews have already started removing sludge that has been accumulated on the channel. And also crews are also finishing work on a freshwater dam at one of the 7 locks along Clara Barton area in Cabin John, which will help flush residual waste and contaminants from the CNO Canal into the PI. So DC Water provided an update of this emergency repair efforts yesterday to the full Prince George County Council, and they would host another public meeting tonight at Walt Whitman High School in Bethesda. So that completes my update on the repair. Thank you.
Thank you, Akile. And, as part of the briefing yesterday, we also shared information on the IMA. Understandably, since this collapse happened, we've gotten a lot of questions about the intermunicipal agreement and the terms, how it works. We've also gotten questions about the cost. So just to reiterate here, since the 1920s, actually, WSSC Water has had agreements with DC concerning wastewater flow into the district. And now today, over 60% of WSSC Water's wastewater flow is conveyed to and treated at Blue Plains. Tonight, we expect that we'll get questions about why we have not treated the wastewater in the question is specifically around in Montgomery County instead of conveying it to the district. We have talked about that before. The WSSC back in the day did purchase property for the purpose of developing its own advanced wastewater treatment plant. That did not materialize. Decisions were made to expand the capacity at Blue Plains. Now today, over 60% of WSSC Water's wastewater flow is conveyed to and treated at Blue Plains. The Anacostia trunk sewer that I just talked about conveys about 33% of the flow. So two significant pipelines that we have to make sure are continuing to convey the bulk of the wastewater that is generated in our service area. The 2012 Blue Plains Intermunicipal Agreement is the current agreement for regional sewer cooperation between 6 parties, which includes the District of Columbia, Prince George's County, Montgomery County, Fairfax County, DC Water, and WSSC Water. The IMA covers all aspects of the shared use of multi-jurisdictional use facilities owned and operated by DC Water, of which the Potomac Interceptor is one. Under the IMA, WSSC Water is responsible for a share of the capital costs and other operating costs incurred by DC Water for Blue Plains and sewers that convey our flows to Blue Plains that they are responsible for. WSSC Water's capacity-based share of capital costs is funded from our budget. We include 4 capital projects or programs in the budget that reflects what DC Water puts in their budget. They put a placeholder in their budget. The funding for those projects that are in their capital improvement program come from different sources. And in this case, the funding for the Potomac Interceptor comes from those communities that share the use of it. The Potomac Interceptor essentially goes to a pump station at the district line, and so there are no flows from the district in the Potomac Interceptor. We also shared just the impact that we project. Again, the finance team has been looking at the costs that we're receiving very closely. And I think this is a point that you raised, Mr. Chair, in asking the questions about, what is budgeted under the DC Water capital plan that is in our budget. We are having to prioritize our priorities. We're also having to, in order to stay within a certain financial frame of affordability or close to it as possible, we're having to make room for not only our projects, but also what we're receiving from DC Water. And this is one of those instances. The Potomac Interceptors, the rehabilitation is budgeted over their 10-year CIP. In our 6-year CIP, we have $128 million included. The impact of WSSC Water's share of the capital cost for the Potomac Interceptor for the full 6-year plan would mean an additional $8.1 million in annual debt service, and that is roughly a 0.6% impact on the rates. So, we're very mindful and are expecting to get clarity on the capital costs as well as the costs related to the current emergency, and we'll be requesting that.